may start in a minute.
Okay. Hit it.
The procession of undergraduates is led by the Students' Marshal, Dr. Timmy Topoleski, the current recipient of the Presidential Teaching Professor Award and Professor of Mechanical Engineering. faculty and staff is led by the Faculty Marshal, Dr. Thomas Matthew, the 2008 Presidential Research Professor and Professor of Mathematics and Statistics. He is joined by Staff Marshals, Ms. Danita Eichenlaub, the 2008 recipient of the Presidential Distinguished Staff Award for Professional Staff, and Associate Director of Administration and Finance for the Goddard Earth Sciences and Technology Center and the Joint Center for Earth Systems Technology. And Ms. Ethel Willie Haskins Cotton, 2008 Presidential Distinguished Staff Award recipient for non-exempt staff and Insurance Program Specialist for University Health Services. The faculty, staff, and students marshals are carrying batons that the UMBC Alumni Association gave to the university in our 40th anniversary in 2006. The platform party is led by Dr. Terence Warcheski, President of the Faculty Senate and Associate Professor of Physics.
The 52nd commencement exercises of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County will now be in order. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our anthem sung by Mr. Orlando Spikes, a senior graduating today with a degree in music. Orlando has accepted a position teaching music with the Baltimore City Teaching Residency. Gentlemen, please remove your hats or caps during the anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce the president of UMBC, Dr. Freeman Hrabowski.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you very much, Dr. Warcheski. Good afternoon. I am delighted to welcome you to this very special commencement exercise. This dignified ceremony is especially important to our graduates, to their families, and to the university. And so I ask that you remain in the arena until the commencement is over. I first want to remind our graduates that the older I get, the more I realize how important our families are to us. And so please join me in thanking your families and friends for all the support they've given you. And now I'm going to ask our faculty and staff to stand. And graduates, would you give the faculty and staff a round of applause, please? In addition to the students receiving bachelor's degrees today, we held a ceremony yesterday and awarded hundreds of degrees, including master's and doctorates, to students in a separate ceremony on campus. Earlier this morning, we held a ceremony to induct members into the Phi Beta Kappa. Would all the members of Phi Beta Kappa students please stand? The graduates, would you give them a hand? Congratulations. Would all of the students wearing red cords please stand? These are students who have earned a 4.0. Give them a big round of applause. I want my colleagues from Princeton and from the International Arena to appreciate there weren't that many. We are very serious about these 4.0s around here. And now, I am delighted to ask the members of the President's Council and the presidents of the campus senates to please stand. My platform guests, who are campus leaders, to please stand. Would you give them a round of applause? It is now my pleasure to introduce Joshua Michael, who's a junior here, who is on our Board of Regents, and he represents that body today. Josh joined Phi Beta Kappa this morning also. Give him a hand.
Good afternoon. I'm honored to join you and extend congratulations on behalf of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents. It's a great honor to join with our president, Dr. Rabowski, who's a national leader and innovator, but a personal friend, mentor, and a common part of our at UMBC. It's also a pleasure to join with today's valedictorian, Priya Matthews, one among us who is outstanding. So I'm also pleased to share this day with your keynote speaker, Mr. Thomas Friedman. His insightful work as a columnist for the New York Times and an author has framed the national and international conversation on globalization. I'm also pleased to join President Shirley Tillman from Princeton University, who's an expert in the field of molecular biology. Today is a special day for so many of you on a personal level, a great day of achievement and accomplishment. As a fellow UMBC undergraduate student, I know how hard each of you have worked to get to this day. Congratulations. It also marks, though, a special day for UMBC, Maryland, our nation, and our world. 1,050 of our world's developing thinkers, leaders, and innovators are celebrated and recognized for achievement and earned merit. Today is a day that we celebrate positive change in our world. I've spent the past year learning about the complex system of education in our state and nation as a student regent for the University System of Maryland, and have spent much of my time advocating for public support for UMBC and other public colleges and universities. Your graduation today marks why continued and expanding investment by our state and nation in public universities is so critical for our future. You are the leaders of our changing state, nation, and world. Your graduation today with a bachelor's degree from UMBC shows all that you are well prepared. Of course, in signifying your preparation for leadership, graduation signifies not the end, but the beginning of your role. In describing his concept of a hero, Bob Dylan explained, "I think of a hero as someone who understands the degree of responsibility that comes with his freedom." You've been gifted with freedom, and you've been prepared through your extensive education at UMBC. Today, I leave you by asking, how will you define your new responsibility in protecting and advancing freedom and opportunity in this complex and changing world? On behalf of the University System of Maryland, again, I congratulate each of you today on this momentous achievement. We look forward to your leadership and innovation in years to come. With your UMBC education, we're confident that you're well prepared, opportunity, and great responsibility. Again, congratulations.
Thank you, Josh. I am now pleased to introduce our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Elliot Hirschman. Dr. Hirschman came to us from George Washington last year. He's completing his first year, and he has done an outstanding job. Please give him a hand, Dr. Hirschman.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to offer congratulations to our graduates. I also want to congratulate the parents, friends, and other supporters who have helped make today possible for our graduates. Today is a critical milestone for our graduates, and reaching this milestone has required substantial personal sacrifice. In this process, you have grown personally, professionally, and intellectually. For these reasons, we pay tribute to you today. In academic tradition, Graduation ceremonies are referred to as commencements. Thus, today is a beginning as well as an ending. Today, our graduates join the proud tradition of UMBC alumni. This tradition is first and foremost a tradition of leadership and service. UMBC alumni lead by teaching the next generation, making scientific and creative contributions, creating and building businesses, advancing professions like engineering, medicine, and law, and serving their government and their communities. Now, as our society faces significant economic, political, social, and scientific challenges, it is our graduates' turn to lead and serve. We are certain that the hard work, intelligence, and perseverance that has helped you succeed at UMBC will ensure your future success. So I close by offering our heartfelt congratulations and wishing the graduates the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Provost Hirschman. Graduates of this class include people who have been working at the university and other universities, and family members of our alumni and faculty and staff. If you fall into one of those categories, you've been working at the university while going to school or other universities in the area, or are you a family member of alums or faculty and staff, please stand. Let's see who you are. It's very nice. Give them a hand, would you? It's very nice. More than 40% of you will be going immediately to graduate and professional schools, to med school and law school and programs. Large numbers of others are going on to work in different places. Some of you will be looking for jobs, right? The key point is you're well prepared and you will be fine. Some of you will be going to work in the public schools. It has become my tradition each year, President Tillman, to ask the people who plan to become teachers to stand, because we need to honor all of those people planning to become teachers. Please stand. We're very proud of you. Before I introduce the valedictorian, I want to introduce the finalists for the valedictorian position. As I call your name, please stand. I'll make a statement and remain standing until we have the group. We first have Bridget Armstrong from psychology. Bridget is planning to conduct research on juvenile diabetes at the Children in Washington, D.C. We have Alan Harris, who receives his B.S. in mechanical engineering today. He has accepted a position in the Applied Sciences Lab of the Aberdeen Test Center of Aberdeen Proving Grounds. We have Aubrey Hillman, who is a bachelor's in ancient studies and a bachelor's in geography and environmental systems. She will be pursuing a PhD in geology at the University of Pittsburgh. We have Callie Brandt, who receives dual BA degrees in art history and ancient studies, and will be going on to study grad school in art history at the NYU, New York University Institute of Fine Arts. And then we have one more co-salutatorian. It's very significant to say this. Callie is one of the salutatorians, and the other salutatorian is Cornelia Karapcha, who receives her dual degrees in financial economics and in information systems, and has accepted a position at Microsoft on its commerce search team out in Seattle. Give them all a hand, please. Congratulations. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2009, Priya Matthews. Priya receives 2 degrees today, a bachelor's in biological sciences and a bachelor's in psychology. She participated in research at the National Institutes of Health for the past 5 or 6 years, quite frankly. She is passionate about helping others. She has tutored fellow students in the chemistry department. She has served as a learning assistant in physics and has worked as a teacher for Princeton Review in preparing people to take the medical school admissions test, the MCAT. She has volunteered at Shock Trauma. She has led a fundraiser for an Indian village that gives refuge to the homeless. She has attended a number of seminars. She's a great researcher, a volunteer, a wonderful human being. She will be attending the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine in the fall. Please join me in congratulating our valedictorian, Priya Matthews. Great. You get them, girl.
Good afternoon, President Hrabowski, Regent Michael, distinguished guests, faculty and staff, families and friends, and fellow graduates. Congratulations to the class of 2009 for passing another milestone in our educational career. Now take a moment and reflect on how much we've changed since we first stepped on the UMBC campus. Intellectually, emotionally, mentally, and maybe even physically, thanks to the so-called freshman 15, in my case, maybe 20. I will never forget when my roommate and I moved into our freshman dorm at UMBC. Two girls were completely intimidated by college and extremely hungry because of the shocking revelation that we were expected to find our own food. Then our Welcome Week leader, called a Wooly, knocked on our door and insisted that we come to the Playfair event at the RAC. We politely refused because we didn't want to be the only freshmen there, which of course would be a traumatizing event for any 18-year-old. However, our Wooly insisted that we come, telling us that being involved and meeting people was part of the UMBC way. We attended Playfair and met another girl who became our friend and roommate for the rest of college. What is the UMBC way? As I have reflected on my past 4 years here at UMBC, I realize that this set of ideas has had the greatest impact on me. I believe there are three main components to the UMBC: expressing ourselves by getting involved, respect for others, and dedication to excellence. UMBC students express ourselves by getting involved. Every individual can find their niche at UMBC. In addition, the faculty, staff, and fellow students all facilitate our interests and encourage further development of them. For example, I have always wanted to educate young women about their health. This interest arose from my exposure to women from underdeveloped areas of India, combined with my desire to pursue medicine. At UMBC, I found a program called Women Involved in Learning and Leadership, where I found other students who wanted to do the same. No matter what our passion was, sports, physics, politics, UMBC made it possible for us to express ourselves. One person who exemplified this ideal was a UMBC student, Jamie Hurd, who passed away last year. Many of us remember his involvement with numerous organizations on campus, and he truly touched the life of everyone he met. Jamie, although you may not be physically present, we believe that you are graduating with us here today. As we embark on our future paths of graduate school or the workforce, and into a world full of complex problems, we can keep our spirits strong by pursuing the personal values and interests that enrich our lives and bring us joy. Although we may have demanding careers or other commitments, we should continue expressing ourselves through our interests and use them to positively contribute to society. We are each exceptional in our own way, and now we have the chance to show that to the rest of the world. The second component of the UMBC way is respect for others. We are extremely fortunate to be graduating from one of the most diverse universities in the nation. Think about all the friends that we've made in college. They probably include every academic, cultural, religious, racial, ethnic, and economic background imaginable. UMBC is its own melting pot, and this is only possible because we all have respect for one another. I experienced this mature level of respect during my first-year seminar class titled Science versus Religion. Although there was an incredible diversity of viewpoints within that small class, each opinion was heard and respected. That was the first moment that I realized that the faculty and students at UMBC are truly special because of their willingness to be open-minded and mutually respect each other's beliefs, even when they were completely different. This principle of respecting one another is so invaluable, regardless of the path that we choose to take from this point. As UMBC graduates, we will be prepared to work with a diverse group of people, whether it's on the job or in our community. We should follow the example that our mentors and peers at UMBC have demonstrated to us by respecting each and every individual that we will interact with in the future. Third, the UMBC way also encompasses dedication to excellence in all that we do. Think about student-organized activities such as Quad Mania, or the chess team's national reputation, or the exceptional percentage of graduates this year that are continuing their education in graduate school. Whether it's sports or academics, research, or interest groups, both the students and faculty put their hearts into succeeding, and we will not settle for anything less. And while excelling individually, we have also learned the importance of teamwork that we will certainly use in the future. As we separate ways, we should maintain the same dedication to excellence in all our endeavors. We are emerging from college at a time that our country needs us more than ever before. No matter what we are doing after college, we should use the diligence that we have learned at UMBC to help the millions of American citizens that are suffering today. With our enthusiasm, fresh insight, and dedication, we have the opportunity to excel in any path we choose while helping those less fortunate than ourselves. Thank you to the UMBC faculty and staff for sharing your passion and your excitement with us. You made learning enjoyable while also encouraging us to think for ourselves. Thank you to our parents and families for helping us realize the importance and the value of education. Now that we're graduates, we can treat you to dinner, but since we won't be making much money for a while, it might be fast food. Thank you to our friends for being supportive throughout our educational career and listening to us whine about exams and homework. I know that I will remain close to the many friends I have made at UMBC for the rest of my life. In Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay titled Self-Reliance, he said, "What lies behind us and what before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." Though the future may be uncertain and even a little scary, we will be able to turn our dreams into a reality and truly make a difference if we apply our knowledge, exhibit the same personal character, and practice the UMBC way that brought us to this day. Congratulations again, class of 2009.
Thank you. Priya, I look forward to your being my doctor one day. This will be fun.
Now we will confer our honorary degrees. Dr. Shirley Tillman, please rise. Shirley Tillman, the first woman president of Princeton University, is a world-renowned scholar and leader in the field of molecular biology and an advocate for women in science. During her postdoctoral fellowship at the National Institutes of Health, Dr. Tillman participated in cloning the first mammalian gene and made several groundbreaking discoveries regarding embryo development. Committed to finding ways for all students to have exposures to the sciences and technology, Dr. Tillman chaired Princeton's Council on Science and Technology from 1993 to 2000. In 1996, she received Princeton's President's Award for Distinguished Teaching. Maxine Singer, President Emeritus of the Carnegie Institution, said of Dr. Tillman's presidency, "Her leadership at Princeton, as her leadership in science, shows that not only will she ask the hard questions, but she is ready to deal forthrightly with the issues they reveal." Dr. Tillman is a member of the National Academy of Sciences, the Institute of Medicine, and the Royal Society of London. She chairs the Association of American Universities and serves as a trustee of the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. UMBC is proud to honor Dr. Shirley Tillman for her pioneering research, her commitment to promoting the careers of young scientists, and her national leadership on behalf of women in the Academy with an Honorary Doctor of Science degree.
Now, therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of Maryland and given to me by the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and upon the unanimous vote of the Board of Regents, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, together with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. Congratulations, Dr. Tillman. I think it fitting to say that it has been because of Dr. Tillman's leadership that UMBC and Princeton are developing such a strong partnership, and we thank her for that leadership.
I call forward Mr. Thomas Friedman. Three-time Pulitzer Prize-winning author and New York Times Foreign Affairs columnist, Mr. Thomas Friedman's provocative coverage of international affairs, globalization, and global warming asks us to see the world in a new way and reconsider the direction in which our society is moving. His most recent book, Hot, Flat, and Crowded, looks at the link between America's national purpose since 9/11, the global environmental crisis, and the role America can play in leading a green revolution. His previous work, The World is Flat, examines the effects of globalization in the 21st century. Previously, Mr. Friedman was awarded the 1983 Pulitzer Prize for International Reporting from Lebanon and the 1988 Pulitzer Prize for International Reporting from Israel. In 2002, Mr. Friedman was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Distinguished Commentary for his clarity of vision in commenting on the worldwide impact of the terrorist threat, and in 2004, he received the Overseas Press Club Award for Lifetime Achievement. Mr. Friedman, we honor you today for your award-winning and groundbreaking coverage of foreign affairs, globalization, and the global environmental crisis. Your work gives us a new perspective on the future of our country and our planet.
And therefore, virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of Maryland and given to me by the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and upon the unanimous vote of the Board of Regents, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters and Journalism, honoris causa, together with all of the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce one of the world's most respected thought leaders, Tom Friedman.
Freeman, thank you for honoring me here today. Congratulations to the class of 2009, and congratulations to my friend Shirley Tillman for another great honor. I went on the website this morning that just came up for the class of 2009 to try to get a better idea exactly who I was talking to, and One of the little bios of people was from Diane Weeks. I don't want to embarrass her, but everyone was asked to kind of summarize their experience at UMBC, and her quote was, "UMBC has provided diversity to learn from, questions to seek answers for, challenges to rise to, confidence to build upon, and the passion to pursue my goals." Freeman, what do you need me for? Okay. I can't do any better than that. I do want to talk to you today, though, about the world you will be walking into as soon as this ceremony is over, and why I think that what you all have learned here will actually be quite relevant to finding a job. Let me start, though, by sharing with you a picture I saw the other day. My wife is a senior board member of the Seed School in Washington, D.C. It's a charter prep boarding school that aspires to African Americans from Washington's most depressed neighborhoods to get an education in order to get into a four-year college. It's a wonderful institution, and the other day, President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama paid a visit to the school and met with the students and staff. Several days later, I got to see the pictures that were taken of the President and the First Lady's visit. And there was one that just stuck in my head. It was a picture taken of Michelle Obama from the back. She was going down a receiving line of young girls at the Seed School, probably seventh graders. And all you see in this picture is the First Lady's back and two little black arms wrapped around her waist, hugging her tight. It was one of the Seed girls who obviously did this spontaneously. When I saw that picture, I thought to myself, wow, how amazing must it be for a young African-American girl to have as a role model today a lady like Michelle Obama, graduate of Princeton and Harvard Law School. Who can know what such a role model will inspire in so many other young African-American girls and others? But those two little arms hugging the First Lady around her waist told me it's a lot more than I will ever know. I tell you this story, you the class of 2009, because you are entitled to be upset and frustrated that your graduation happens to coincide with the greatest economic downturn in America since the Great Depression. And you are equally entitled to say to yourselves, what a lousy time to be walking out these doors with a liberal arts education. Yes, that wasn't supposed to be a laugh line, but yes, it is a lousy economic time, but it is an amazing political time. It is one of those rare moments when America reminds itself how crazy radical we can be sometimes. Radical enough to take a chance on an inspiring young African-American junior senator from Illinois and his wife to lead us out of this economic mess we're in. That tells me, and I hope it tells you, that our country still has the ability to change course, to start afresh, to begin anew. And what I would like to do here today is make the case for why that America, the one capable of infinite renewal and reinvention, is the one you should think of yourselves as entering. Because in that America, there are some very big jobs ready and waiting for you, or at least for your generation. Yes, your country needs you now. Help wanted. You see, my parents' generation, your grandparents' generation, were the greatest generation. They earned that title because they built a world of freedom for us abroad by defeating the Nazis and winning the Cold War, and because they also helped to build a world of more freedom at home thanks to the Civil Rights Movement. My generation, the baby boomers, well, we've been what my friend Kurt Anderson calls the grasshopper generation, eating through just about everything like hungry locusts. Oh, we've had our moments to be proud of, but I'm afraid that we took many of those freedoms that our parents sacrificed to create for us, and we used them to go to excess. The subprime mortgage mess is, alas, a monument to that all. But that's why we need you, the class of 2009, to be the regeneration. Yes, we need to go from the greatest generation to the grasshopper generation to the regeneration. That is your job, with our help, of course, to regenerate, renew, and refresh America And you may not believe it, but the liberal arts education you received here has ideally prepared you for that task. Let me explain. We got into this financial mess because we got disconnected from some of the most fundamental values that made us wealthy as a country. I blame many things for that, but most of all, I actually blame the end of the Cold War. One thing that made our parents the greatest is that they had to stay very focused to win World War II, to survive the Great Depression, to face down the Soviets. These were hard enemies, people you had to be serious about. I would argue that the collapse of the Soviet Union in the 1990s, which meant the collapse of our biggest strategic competitor, made us a little sloppy and lazy. We took on an attitude of dumb as we want to be. Dumb as we want to be, and we'll get to it when we get to it. Hey, what's the rush? Social Security reform, health care, energy policy, or immigration? We'll get to it when we get to it. Indulging the moment became job one. Over-consuming, overbuilding, over-borrowing, over-lending, and overeating all became the new normal during our post-Cold War America. The world was indeed our oyster after the end of the Cold War, and we ate it. I was visiting my own hometown of Minneapolis a few weeks ago and was talking about this problem of runaway consumption with my childhood friend Ken Greer when he said to me, "I have to show you." We drove out to a small strip mall off Highway 494 and Route 169. "Okay, look at this," Ken said as we drove in. It was hard to miss. On both sides of the entrance to this mall were Caribou coffee shops, the Minnesota version of Starbucks. How could one strip mall need two Caribou coffees? So we went into the one on the right of the entrance. I ordered my skim latte and asked the barista, "Explain something to me. Your Caribou coffee, and there's another one right over there. I can see it from here. Why are there two Caribou coffees less than 100 yards apart?" Well, she explained it was very simple. There were long lines here every morning, so we needed another one. "Oh, I see," I said to myself. Because people had to wait in line a little longer at rush hour in the morning for their coffee, they couldn't just add another coffee machine. They had to build a whole carbon copy coffee shop next door. Why not? Money was cheap, resources were available. Why not have two same coffee shop in the same strip mall? Nothing manifested this excess and breakdown of values, of course, more than the subprime crisis, where people with no credit ratings or even a steady job or even ID papers were granted mortgages to buy homes everyone knew they could not afford. Yes, for the first time in our modern history, we told people you can have the American dream for nothing down and nothing to pay for 2 years. The whole system was built on two principles, IBG and YBG. I'll be gone or you'll be gone when things go bad. The mortgage broker who sold the mortgage and passed it off to a bigger financial institution like Fannie Mae or Citibank knew that if the buyer defaulted, IBG, I'll be gone. The investment bank that packaged it into a bond knew that once that bond was sold to a bank anywhere in the world, IBG, I'll be gone. The rating agencies that rated those bonds AAA, even they knew they were full of toxic risks, wasn't worried, IBG, I'll be gone. The whole system was built on a system of total non-accountability. We didn't tell people you need to study hard. We didn't tell people you need to build a solid foundation. We didn't tell people you need to save and have a credit rating to get a home. We told them the bank around the corner online would borrow the money from China and lend it to us for nothing down and nothing to pay. Friends, you can only do that for so long. Or as my friend Rob Watson, the founder of Lead Buildings, likes to say, you know, if you jump off the top floor of an 80-story building, you can actually feel like you're flying for 79 stories. It's the sudden stop at the end that gets you. Last year, we just had a sudden stop at the end. And that's why the first task for the regeneration, all of us is together, is to restore some of these basic values of hard work and accountability that got us where we are as a country. So whatever ethics you learned here at UMBC and Philosophy 101, whatever uncompromising idealism was spawned in you by a professor you so admired, whatever unbending convictions about what is right and wrong, which you stuck to in student government debates even when it caused you grief, whatever principled behavior you demanded from the administration here or from fellow students, whatever you do, do not leave it here. There is nothing the country needs more right now. But we also need you, the regeneration, not just to help us restoring values, but to help us create things of value. You see, we cannot borrow our way out of the economic crisis. We cannot stimulate our way out of this economic crisis with more deficit spending. We cannot get out of this crisis by just another Caribou coffee to every mall. We cannot get out of this crisis by just flipping each other more hamburgers or more houses. We have to invent and innovate our way out of this crisis. We have to get away from just financial engineering, designing more and more exotic ways to simply make money from money, and get back to real engineering of stuff and services that people need to make their lives more productive, more healthy, more environmentally sound, more enjoyable. The only way a society advances is by inventing things that satisfy people's existing wants and needs, like a computer or a new form of energy, or creating things that satisfy needs we never imagined we had, like the need to Google or listen to an iPod. Yes, we need good engineers to design those things, but we also need liberal arts grads to imagine those things. And that's again where you come in. I'm a big believer that imagination is the single most important competitive advantage you can have today. You can go on and hire someone to do the programming. You can go to Amazon.com and hire them to do the shipping and handling. You can go to freelancer.com to get someone to draw up your logo. But imagining the idea, the new project or the new product, that's where the magic is. And that's where liberal arts is a hugely important fountain of imagination. After all, where does imagination come from? Mark Tucker, who heads the National Center on Education and Economy, answers that question this way. One thing we know about creativity is that it typically occurs when people who have mastered two or more quite different fields use the framework in one to think afresh about the other. Intuitively, you know this is true. Leonardo da Vinci was a great artist, scientist, and inventor, and each specialty nourished the other. He was a great lateral thinker, said Tucker, but if you spend your whole life in one silo, you will never have the knowledge or mental agility to do the synthesis, to connect the dots, which is where the next great break found. I don't know how many art, music, literature, and science courses you were able to take while you were here, but I hope it was the full buffet, because the imaginative spark that gives birth to great ideas, products, designs, and movements often comes when people who have mastered two or more quite different fields use the framework in one to think afresh about the other. And when they mash them together, something they learned in literature with something they learned in physics, that's where the magic happens. So if you're leaving this school with your imagination enriched and sharpened, you are leaving here with a lot more relevant job skill than you may think. Because when the world is this flat, that is, when there are this many distributed tools of innovation and connectivity, what you imagine is going to matter so much more, because you can now act on your imagination as an individual so much farther, faster, deeper, cheaper than ever before. And not just to invent new products of value, but also to launch new movement. It is not for nothing that Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. I was in India recently and profiled some young Yale environmental engineering grads who organized a solar caravan across India. They got an Indian electric car company to donate the cars, retrofit them with solar panels on the roofs to power the batteries so the cars could actually run 10% of the time on solar energy. They went out and raised money from local businesses and then drove village to village in what they called a climate caravan, posting on YouTube homegrown solutions for energy efficiency being developed by Indian companies, communities, and innovators, hoping to inspire others to take action. I was blown away by their gumption. They knew that the only reason that such a caravan wasn't being done was because they weren't doing it. So they did it, and they did it simply because they imagined it. People often ask me how I got my start as a journalist. It was very simple. I went down a street in London in 1975. Gerald Ford was running against Jimmy Carter for president. There was an Evening Standard newsstand that I walked by with a blaring headline on it. The headline said, "Carter to Jews. If elected, I promise to fire Dr. K." I looked at that headline. I said to my then girlfriend, now wife, I said, "Isn't that interesting? Jimmy Carter's running for president. He's trying to win Jewish votes, and he's promising to fire the first ever Jewish Secretary of State." I don't know what possessed me, but I went back to my dorm room and I wrote an op-ed column about it. I gave it to my then girlfriend, now wife, who was from Des Moines, Iowa. She took it home. She gave it to the editorial page editor of the Des Moines Register. He liked it. They printed it on a full page with an Outh cartoon, and they paid me $. And I thought that was the coolest thing in the whole world. I was walking down the street. My imagination was tickled. I went back and wrote it up, and someone paid me $50. I've been hooked ever since. I was talking to a lawyer friend 2 days ago, and he was telling me about how his law firm was cutting back and letting people go. But the people who were holding on to their jobs, he said, were sometimes very surprising. Lawyers who were just used to showing up and having work handed to them were dropping like flies, he said, because with the explosion of the credit bubble, the flow of work just isn't there anymore to be handed. But those who had the ability to imagine new services, new opportunities, new niches, and new ways to recruit work, they were staying and rising more quickly than ever. That is the world you are graduating into, class of 2009. A world where more things than ever are possible, fewer things than ever are guaranteed. You are graduating into a world where more things than ever are possible and fewer things than ever are guaranteed. So those of you who are waiting for someone to hand you work may have to wait a long time. Those of you with the gumption and imagination to invent a new job, a new way of doing an old job, or a new way of attracting customers to an old business, you're going to get snapped up. The world is waiting for you. You know, there's a saying in Texas that if all you ever do is all you've ever done, then all you'll ever get is all you ever got. Not here, not now, not anymore. If all you ever do is all you've ever done, you'll get a lot smaller slice in today's economy. So let me conclude by saying this. I hope by now I've persuaded you, or at least your parents, that your degree from here really is relevant. Your country needs you to bring the values you learned here, the imagination you sharpened here, the activism you nurtured here, to be the regeneration, to add values and to create products and services and social movement value. Some company, some organization somewhere will pay you for those things, and if they won't, well, baby, roll your own. It's a flat world, and there's nothing stopping you now. I repeat, if it's not happening, it's because you're not doing it. So that's about it for me, class of 2009. Just one final note. It's a piece of advice I tack onto every commencement address. While you're out there tackling the world and slaying the dragons, please don't forget one thing. Call your mother. You will always be glad that you did. When you were just in elementary school, there was a legendary football coach at the University of Alabama named Bear Bryant. And late in his career, after his mother had died, Bell South Telephone Company asked Bear Bryant to do a TV commercial. As best I could piece together from the news reports, the commercial was supposed to be very simple, just a little music and Coach Bryant saying in his tough coach's voice, "You called your mama today?" On the day of the filming, though, when it came time for Coach Bryant to recite his simple line, he decided to ad-lib something because his own mother had recently died. He looked into the camera and said, "Have you called your mama today? I sure wish I could call mine." And that was how the commercial ran, and it got a huge response from audiences. I know what Coach Bryant meant. My own mom died last year, just shy of 90 years old. I miss her dearly, she was the only reader of the New York Times who agreed with every word I wrote. I wish I could call her too. So class of 2009, go forth and be the regeneration. Bring along the values and imagination you learned here, but whether you stay near or go far, also bring along some extra minutes on your cell phone to call Mom and Dad. You'll always be glad that you did. Godspeed and good luck.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Tom. That was excellent. Thank you for emphasizing the importance of the liberal arts and of imagination. And I know all the mothers are delighted that the graduates are going to call home. Give your mothers another hand, please. That's great.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science please rise? That's you.
That's you, folks. That's you.
Dr. Rabowski?
Dr. Hirschman.
Dr. Rabowski, I have the honor of presenting the candidates recommended by the faculty of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the state of Maryland given to the Board of Regents and the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and by them entrusted to me, I hereby admit you to the degrees which you have earned during the course of your studies at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, in token whereof you shall be given a diploma with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Today, each graduate will receive a memento from the UMBC Alumni Association. Mr. Juan Holcomb, Vice President of the Alumni Association, will make the presentation on behalf of the association. Now will the candidates for Africana Studies and American Studies please stand and walk to the podium. The remaining candidates should stay seated until your row is escorted by commencement staff. And please, out of respect for all of our graduates, we ask the graduates and their families and friends to remain in the auditorium until the ceremony has concluded.
Okay.
Our first reader is the Dean of Undergraduate Education and Vice Provost, Dr. Diane Lee.
Will the faculty in American Studies please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Winona Famata Cesar, Caitlin Elizabeth Chiarello, Jennifer Elizabeth Clary, Alice Huguenoy, Alexandra H. Highland, Gordon C. Johnson, Joseph M. Kurdzio, Mary Allison Lewandowski, Melanie A. Mapp, cum laude, Samantha Ann McGarity, cum laude, Stephen J. Settembrino, Natalie Sherelle Walters. Will the faculty in Ancient Studies please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Justin Kyle Alexander, Callie E. Brandt, magna cum laude, Patrick M. Berman, Michael Joseph Lusso, cum laude, Roger Paul Guzman III, magna cum laude, Sarah Catherine Ryan, magna cum laude, Sarah Marie Snyder, Stephen Francis Torville Friedinger, Colleen Esther Walter, cum laude. Will the faculty in dance please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Maya Ahanku, Dana Ann Elman, magna cum laude, Holly Dina Gouge. Jennifer Lindsay Kohlhofer, cum laude. Kamarie Jean Lee. Bridget Emily Myers, cum laude. Catherine Susan Chiafino, cum laude. Will the faculty in economics and financial economics please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Melissa Brianne Bernero, cum laude. Kirill Valentin Boyko. Zachary M. Bratcher, cum laude. Christopher Caldwell, cum laude. Nathaniel Jorge Chafee. Sung J. Choi. Vidya B. Cooper. Jillian Dembeck, cum laude. Milos Djukic. April Marie Dorsey. Jonas Elmaraji, cum laude. Muthoni Gathua, cum laude. Samuel Gregorius Gobrail. Nicholas Kane Harvey. Jessica Esther Hamadi. Zoa Hussein. Jeffrey Charles Holbrook. David Aaron Indek, cum laude. Benjamin J. Kelly. Saliba Tony Curry. Tabitha Marie Lucas. Nathan Benem. Thomas Patrick Meany. Elizabeth Mendoza. James D. Mildenberger, magna cum laude. Curtis James Odell Miller. Fatima Hafsa Miskin. Brandon A. Nikandevich. Charles Joseph O'Brien, summa cum laude. Shruti Patel. Swapnil Patel. Mark C. Perdomo. Daniel Paul Ryder. Stephen M. Ross, magna cum laude. Ilya Rosovsky. Shruthri Rudraruju. Robert James Ruiz. Andrew C. Sebley, cum laude. Adedomola Sijuwade. Lauren A. Smoot. Matthew Robert Spadafora. Dimitri Stamidis. Christopher Martin Stavish, cum laude. James Senna. Melvin Burrell Swan Jr. Sajid Ikram Talukder. Nisha Paul Tandon. Min Ka Tran. Wen Kim Trin. Aaron Stephen Velke. Gregory Michael Vuig. Brian Elliott Whipple, cum laude. Stephen C. White. Laura Beth Williams. Alan Webster Essex. Will the faculty in Emergency Health Services please stand while I read the name of your graduates? Joanna Nicole Anthony, cum laude. Mary Louise Bell. Angela Christine Allison. Nicholas Anthony Boer. Christy Lynn Bryn. Victor A. Cario Vasquez. Lara Alexandra Costello. Matthew D. Garbo. Kevin Michael Gebecki. Jeffrey Michael Huggins. James F. Irons. Andrew Young Kim. Bridget Blair Shipley, cum laude. Alon Joseph Manella, magna cum laude. Laura Rose Wolfson. Our next reader will be Dr. John Jeffries, Dean of the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences.
Will the faculty in English please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Jaskaren Kaur Bara. Jonathan W. Basanko, Corey Joseph Brown, Lindsay Michelle Brunk, cum laude, Melissa M. Carroll, cum laude, Hannah E. Cobb, summa cum laude, Aditya Yogesh Desai, Christopher Fenlon, Philip A. Ford, Dorothy Elizabeth Garrett, Amanda N.F. Gemsky, Christy Marie Gossman, Abigail Rose Grant, Alicia M. Hansel, Adrian Victoria Hawkins, magna cum laude, Ronnie C. Jones, Muhammad Ahmad Khan, Kevin Kraus, Patricia Y. Kwan, Douglas A. Manzelman, Mary Catherine Meyer, cum laude, Catherine Elizabeth Maloney, cum laude, Catherine Marie Moon, Cameron Nazar Muzaffar, cum laude, Elizabeth Regina Paglia, Sean Isaac Pang, Alexander A. Piles, magna cum laude, Jessica M. Sadler, Emily Helen Saltzman, Jean A. Swertner, Caitlin A. Taylor, magna cum laude, David C. Weaver. Will the faculty in Gender and Women's Studies please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Elizabeth A. Barr, Teresa Bass Foster, magna cum laude. The faculty in Geography and Environmental Systems please stand while I read the names of your graduates. Stephen Edward Bands, Sean Nicholas Beagley, Ronald Marshall Boyce, Ashley Nicole Burton, Laura Taylor Bussolini, magna cum laude, Kristen Elise Cook, Kelly Elizabeth Dennison, Philip Robert Fabian, Kevin James Gardner, Michael John Gardner, magna cum laude, Aubrey L. Hillman, summa cum laude, Daniel K. Jones, Sean M. Kane, Cecilia Woodward Lane, Peter E. Lapa Lilly, cum laude, Danielle Nicole Marie Lipinski, Justin W. McCardell, Lauren Marie Phillips, Sarah J. Poole, magna cum laude, Jonathan L. Reed, Brian Matthew Rich, Nicole Teresa Robinson, Lindsay R. Schroeder, cum laude. Will the faculty in Health Administration and Policy please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Sophia Aqua, Beatrice Ya Ampoma, Ibikunola Ayanlayi, Jennifer K. Azubike Iwe, Talat H. Chaudhry, summa cum laude, Dina A. Dante, Ashley Monique DeBold, Marie Genevieve I. Karani, Morgan Gapara, Sabina Savanthi Kandagli, Ashley Lynn LaRusso, Courtney Lynn McNamara, Kim N. Nguyen, Amy Obianuju Nuagu, Uchechukwu in Ofia, Kalichi Osua, Nana Prento, Rebecca R. Piusa, Doris Elizabeth Rubio, Babajide R. Saba, Navdeep Singh Sarai, magna cum laude, Jacqueline W. Wanjohi, Kyle Barrett Simons, magna cum laude, Julian C. Singer, magna cum laude, Daniel Gyanje Teague, Howie Tola, Amanda P. Yalunovich. Will the faculty Will the faculty in history please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Olifikayo Abiola Akintola, Russell M. Amy, Monica M. Ayers, Alexandra L. Castleman, Amir Sakina Didmari, Gregory Charles Dewey, Stephen Andrew Feely, John Joseph Jutinsky Jr., Evan Patrick Gwynn, Sarah Rose Hornbeck, Dylan Eric Hyde, Thor Kalachan, Timothy Michael Kelly Jr., Andy Boram Kwan, Maureen Catherine Maselko, summa cum laude. Ryan Patrick McCormick, cum laude. Arthur Edward Murphy III, magna cum laude. Kate Nicole Nunley, summa cum laude. Roger C. Pierce, Jane B. Rosario, Jonathan David Slow, Aaron M. Tarpley, magna cum laude. Carol M. Van Natta, magna cum laude. Matthew W. Verrett, Ryan Lee Wiggins, summa cum laude. Our next reader will be Dr. Nancy Young, Vice President for Student Affairs.
Will the faculty in interdisciplinary studies please stand while I read the name of your graduates? Stanley Christopher Buckler, Kendall Michelle Downey, Carla Marie Mike, summa cum laude. Shannon Marie Polvey, Kia Nicole Rich, James Alfred Spammer, Leah Sternbach, Alexander B. Whitkin. Will the faculty in Media and Communication Studies please stand while I read the name of your graduates? Mallory Aronson, Tiffany Alicia Johnson, Ashley L. Poulos, Ryan J. Reel, Araline Sabino, Tinapreet Suri, Suzanne Eckhart Sweeney, Jade Holly Woods. Will the faculty in Modern Languages and Linguistics please stand while I read the name of your graduates? Rachel Artis, cum laude. Sarah J. Ball, magna cum laude. Sean Patrick Carmody, summa cum laude. Natalie J. Donahoe, cum laude. Christina Rebecca Gaddy, magna cum laude. Peter M. Gallagher, cum laude. Brittany E. Grasser, cum laude. Jennifer Catherine Harvey, summa cum laude. Romy Jones, summa cum laude. Nina Kamoe, cum laude. Valerie Carol Legrom, cum laude. Randy Ann M. Layson, magna cum laude. Samuel D. Lowens. Allison Altamarino Mathis. Sarah N. Osman, summa cum laude. Shannon D. Poole. David Edward Proffin, summa cum laude. Alan Randall. Scott Matthew Redding, cum laude. Jennifer Almeida Street, cum laude. Will the faculty in music please stand while I read the name of your graduates? Willie S. Burge, magna cum laude. Daniel Nicole Durbin, magna cum laude. James Ian Weldon Grant, cum laude. Gregory F. Young. Joseph C. Mitchell, magna cum laude. Meg Musamoto. Elise C. Pohl, summa cum laude. Elizabeth J. Shin, cum laude. Matthew Lawrence Ship. Trevor M. Simpson, cum laude. Patricia Ann Sora, magna cum laude. Orlando James Spike, cum laude. Michael J. Girardi, cum laude. Will the faculty in philosophy please stand while I read the name of your graduates? Graham Christopher Andrews, Clayton Wade Dane Jr., Aaron R. Ludensky, Jonathan R. Steiner, Warren J. Wells, magna cum laude. Will the faculty in political sciences please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Abdul A. Ahmed, Sarah Akhtar, Zanab Al-Kibsi, Richard E. Anderson, Manolo Anglo Anico Jr., Anissa Azizi, Peaches Christopher N. Peaches, Monica Cower Betty, Teresa R. Bruce, magna cum laude, Thomas Ernst Carlson, Bobakar Sis, Kara A. Dorr, cum laude, John Edmund Doyle, magna cum laude, Edward Etuasa E. Makpai, Jacob Paul Finkelstein, magna cum laude, Matthew Michael Fisher, Jacqueline Pamela Gutierrez, Kimberly Harmison, Hungsun Lim, Liliana Malatich Lukic, Sadie's A. Henderson, cum laude, Jordan Allen Jones, Mahana Karimi, summa cum laude, Jeremy Sean Kessler, cum laude, Sadaf J. Khan, James Bennett Kitterman, Hao Ting Eric Liu, Lisa Marie Marks, magna cum laude, Tyler P. Massey, Winnie Dora Nam, magna cum laude, Adrina Nicolosi, David Andrew Nohe, magna cum laude, Ermias Mogas, Fiona Murphy, magna cum laude, Pablo Rodrigo Palomera, Sylvia A. Ruiz Cuyan, Alani Joy Odeale, Hannah O., Travis Ray Parsley, Meredith Lenore Pendergrass, Ifoma Catherine Powell, Kimberly A. Pruim, Priya Ravindaran Pule, Sharananya Rowa Chandaran, Paul Robert Nickel Schumann, Marquis Pierre Shanks, Catherine Elizabeth Seymour, Matthew Benjamin Stubenberg, Christian Marie Taylor, Esther Teckel, Kanan Nitin Thaker, Priya Tiwari, Chidima Ojiako Okone, Melissa Marie Walkenfeldy. Our next reader will be Dr. Marilyn Demarest, Vice Provost for Faculty Affairs.
Will the faculty in psychology please stand while I read the names of our graduates? Saira A. Ahmad, Chidindu I. Ajagba, Carrie H. Albright, summa cum laude, Brittany Renee Allen, Amber Lee Arima, Bridget Ryan Armstrong, summa cum laude, Christy Ann Bergstrom, Nina Rosa Peliazar Bersabal, Janelle Marie Bettis, Samantha Palmyra Beer, magna cum laude, Quatila Tonise Boyd, Latoya Shaliqua Brown, Benjamin Andrew Buckheit, Tien Bowie, Catherine Taylor Shari Bukowski, Alexander B. Caffrey, Nicholas J. Caminiti, Christina Ellen Cantwell, Carolina Lenore Karjbajal, magna cum laude, Chelsea Jade Sagalski, cum laude. Jennifer Sukyung Cha. Tom Ching. Catherine Cho. Daniel Young Choi. Brittany Ashley Christian. Greta Renee Coates Clinton. Brandy Cher Cornelius Hill, cum laude. Nicole Lee Crawford. Danielle J. Da Silva. Leslie Ruth Davis. Kara J. Davitt. Emily E. Dimka, cum laude. Stephanie L. Douglas, magna cum laude. Thandika Christina Elias. Christian Bacalzo Fallardo. Stephanie Carol Forbes. Michelle Fu, summa cum laude. Paul Theodore Galasso. Elma Precious Jewel Garway. Dominique S. Goldring. Catherine Fitzgerald Shabi Goodman. Preeti Raj Nanasundram. Liana M. Gottlich. Kiara R. Gregory. Jessica M. Griffith. Joan K. Heller. Kathleen A. E. Herring, magna cum laude. Mandy M. Hill, magna cum laude. Jimin Hong, cum laude. Ashley Susan Howe. Kathleen M. Hutchison. Amanda Jane Johnson, magna cum laude. Janice C. Kyung. Yasmin Kaskia, magna cum laude. Fafa Kumasa. Elizabeth L. La Montagne, magna cum laude. Bona S. Lee. Susanna Lee. Michael Lee, cum laude. Ryan Christopher Lee. Lucy Fan Lu. Christopher M. Maybe. Meredith Lee Marino, cum laude. Andrew Lyle Martin. Shannon N. Marucci. Monty Matthews. Narali P. Mehta. Besma Abdallah Masalam. Stephanie Elizabeth Minnick. Catherine N. Moeller. Lindsay Michelle Mullinax. Sarah Nasiri Tusi, cum laude. Isaac Jose Newman. Christina Ng. Fang B. Nayan, magna cum laude. Olateju Adeboye Odukale. Amy Melissa Offenbach. Tai B. O. Noel Ifeanyi Okoye. Amber N. Oluwapelumi G. Oyebame. Neha P. Pandit. Shital S. Patil. Michelle E. Petruska, cum laude. Christina Marie Picone. Kimberly L. Price. Aisha Raman. Heidi M. Rafter, cum laude. Aisha A. Rana. Tiffany R. Redwood. Erica J. Reek. Jamie Lynn Reed. Anna Talise Rutherford, cum laude. Tanya M. Rice. Sean M. Rutherford. Megan Marie Sackett. Sanalika Saxena. Ashley Rose Schaefer. Glenn Martin Schmidt. Zion Sayum. Sadaf Siddiqui. Carrie Christina Simone. Brandon J. Smolin. Lauren Marie Stallings. Michael Richard Talley. Jessica P. Tang. Christopher Calvin Tung. Asir Kainas Rohans Valencia. Mary Eleanor Wade. Brittany Ariana Waters, cum laude. Lindsay Rochelle Webb, cum laude. Donald Craig Witten. Joy Ann Wild. Becky Alisa Williams. Saul M. Ye. David R. Zacconi. Will the faculty in sociology and anthropology please stand while I need the names of your graduates? Olashade Iberonke Abidoye. Robin D. Keji, summa cum laude. Rebecca Ann Cash. Maria Luisa Comulata. Kendria Chantel County. Paulino Castano de Guzman. John R. Fetcher. Tara N. Flinchbaugh, cum laude. Danielle Alicia Frayling. Tallulah Gabrielle. Michael Samuel Golden. Caitlin A. Graney, cum laude. Jason M. Green. Rebecca Jean Greenwell, cum laude. Pamela Sue Hosseini. Ann Temalajo Igarere Ihaza. Chukunomso Amuche. Carly Rebecca Johnson. Ann M. Krieger. Jessica Ann Marie Lee. Nicole Alicia Lubaugh. Laura Elizabeth McGarity. Joel W. Nave. Mara Lizeth Orlana. Jessica Renee Pluis. Daryl Andrew Proctor. Okosua Safo. Tiffany M. Scott. Tamika Wainoina Sims. Colin E. Toole. Jimmy Q. Vo. Tessa Adele Warmack. Our next reader will be Dr. Jeffrey Summers, Interim Vice President for Research.
Will the faculty in theatre please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Michael Andrew Caffarelli. Kelly Rose Kavanagh. Tanika Nicola Cook. Cum laude, Julie A. DeBarkey. Joseph M. Gabin, cum laude. Daphne Isabel Consuelo Gardner, magna cum laude. Amanda Nicole Gunther. Travis Charles Hudson, magna cum laude. Kevin Lawrence James, cum laude. Matthew Reuben Klein. Patrick Cervantes Lettery, cum laude. Christina Bianca Mangum. Christina Elise Martin, magna cum laude. Alexander Elliott Scally. Will the faculty in visual arts please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Christine Emily Abbott, magna cum laude. Agnes Sophie Ingeborg Asplund, summa cum laude. Samiha Mona Aziz, magna cum laude. Joel Abraham Bowers, magna cum laude. Joshua Rudrow Brightwell. Leslie M. Bristow. Karen Danielle Burke. Elka A. Khan, cum laude. Antonio Miguel Calderon. Andre Vincente Colley, cum laude. Nicole B. Coleman. Matthew Joseph Curtin, cum laude. Sean M. W. D'Souza. Jenna M. Erb. Michelle Renee France. Kayla D. Geddes. Dennis E. Garcia. Lindsay Nicole Gonzalez. Kevin Robert Goodson. Jessica Renee Heil, magna cum laude. Daniela Hlusha, summa cum laude. Jennifer G. In Hong. Nasil Cooperman. Adam Jason Kurtz. Jason Victor Lanciotti. Yen Hei Lee, cum laude. Zhu Ping Lin, cum laude. James Michael McAllister. Ryan Joshua Morse, magna cum laude. Alison Mowry. Seth M. Musi. Tijoni Charles Ogolende. Francisco A. Orellana, cum laude. Valerie Jean Paulsgrove. Jennifer Rachel Pete. Danielle Marie Perkins, cum laude. Una Petrovic. Jonathan A. Ramirez. Olivia Lauren Ricker, cum laude. Rachel A. M. Segovia. Alexandra Kathleen Seeley. Courtney Lynn Schlumica. Scott D. Stevens, cum laude. Danielle M. Sokovich, cum laude. Matthew Joseph Sikowski. Tommy Truong, cum laude. Lindsay Murray Vates. Jesse Summer Vaughan, cum laude. Robert Patrick Wagner. Lisa Corinne Wilcox, summa cum laude. Carly S. Wilkins, magna cum laude. Justin C. Winnicky. Helen S. Zhang, summa cum laude. Megan Lynn, magna cum laude. Will the faculty in biochemistry and molecular biology please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Suzanne Abdel Lazim. Timothy William Chan A. Adel, cum laude. Olufakalemi O. Orr, magna cum laude. Ruth A. Bayen. Whitney C. Fields, cum laude. Tiffany Chantal Fleet, magna cum laude. Sarah Margaret Boudon, summa cum laude. Rudolph Elwood Brooks, Jr. Andrew Mark Robinson Kupek, cum laude. Brittany L. Good, cum laude. Yelena Cecilia. Francis A. Gray, summa cum laude. Syed Jun A. Hassan. Brandon Thomas Horse, summa cum laude. Amanda M. Hebert, magna cum laude. Kilali Iyala, magna cum laude. Sharik Ahmed Khan. Joseph E. Kisser. Randy Lee Lawrence. Austin Walker Luft. Carlos J. Miho, cum laude. Marla Ann Muha. Dan Z. Nguyen. Indiladmila Kala L. Obi. Jet Niaman D. Parawan. Preston Ket Riddick, cum laude. Sasan Salimayan, summa cum laude. Tanu Sharma, cum laude. Vivek Sindhi. Tessie Nyasha Stevenson, magna cum laude. Kelly Sue Subramanian. Alyssa L. Walker, cum laude. Will the faculty in bioinformatics and computational biology please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Brittany C. Beach, magna cum laude. Yue Wayne Chang, cum laude. Niwama Johnson. Albert Kung, cum laude. Grace Eluyemisi Silva. Nafi Tassema. Yaya Mzia. Our next reader will be Dr. Philip Rouse, Interim Dean of the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences.
Will the faculty in biological sciences please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Jaron Woodward Abbott. Eraj Raza Abidi. Desalin F. Abraham. Nawaz Ahmed. Prince I. Ambia. Ozoma Arnold Anile. Bona Gabriel Apai. Brooke Asamenu. Maliha Fatima Bada. Natalie Bossiqua. Justin Adrian Bronson. Ramon Maracut Cabrera. Michael Anthony Castello. Nancy Sarah Childs. Irene Hee-Young Chu. Yoon Young Chung. Rochelle Darlene Claggett. Armeta Dastia. Shivani Desai. Daniel Scott Duval. Sobia Altaf. AG4 Anthony Darrell Ezequiel Jr., cum laude. Catherine Teresa Falduto. Jessie A. Francis. Ashley N. Francois. Gabby Galindo. Nina S. George. Praveen George. Dimple Gill. Stacey Lynn Goddard. Renee Diane Godfrey. Robert Matthew Griesbach. Peter R. Grossman. Danielle M. Goldner, cum laude. Brian Terry Gunderson. Mark Andrew Gunderson. Charles Leroy Hager III. Andre Harvin. Tiffany Ellen Hodges. Ashley Michelle Horniak. Jacob Michael Hum. Chuan Tiang Hien. Sana Iqbal. Chung Ik Ji. Boran Kim, cum laude. Tamika Leola John. Laura Leyte Jones, magna cum laude.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Rovanti Tivolic, magna cum laude. Caroline Christaponis, cum laude. Alex Kudryashev. Sindhu Lakur. Tommy Lam. Trong V. Lee. Florence Lin.
Congratulations.
Priya Mary Matthews, summa cum laude. Renee Lynn Matia. Jessica Ann McGrath. Catherine Rose McNamara, cum laude. Nijet Madato, magna cum laude. Bishoy E. Michael. Christine Ann Minardi. U.D. Moon, magna cum laude. Jeffrey Mozinski, cum laude. Samantha Mullins. Andrew F. Murphy. Thierry Meant. Brian Nguyen, magna cum laude. Erica Lauren Nix. Nujo Alem Nawelato. Neka Wokafor. Matthew Peter Onibene. Oluwafunmike Ojewe, cum laude. Uchenna Oyikwere. Uluwatoyin Olaide. Stephen Ayo Otunba. Olukeode Oswela. Augustine H. Peg. Susie Missun Park. Shirag H. Patel. Brenda M. Pedra. Jeffrey Andrew Radner. Shandas Rao. Gabriel C. Rataliata. India J. Rogers. Samantha K. Sadler, cum laude. Dilo N. Saar. Kimberly L. Schlegel. Savannah Marie Seabolt. Nicholas Chul Zeitz. Tijal D. Shah. Rashal Shahid, cum laude. Neil K. Shastri. Carly N. Shirk. Amberlyn Seifert. Elizabeth A. Silberholz. Judy Gina Sim. Justin J. Singer. Okay. Nadreda Shlepushkina. Omoloya Soyombe. Judy Sun, cum laude. Ali Mohammed Saeed, magna cum laude. Wulanzo Tadize. Sharif R. Takla, magna cum laude. Johnny Kwok Tai. Falak Ashwin Taka. Anna Celine Torres. Ho-Wei Zhang. Stephen N. Tuishimi, cum laude. Linda Uche, cum laude. Susan A. Vepamunthara. William Christopher Wooney. Hubert J. Wu. Stephanie Shu. Robert N. Young. Raza Saeed Zahir Zaidi. Our next reader will be Dr. Warren DeVries, Dean of the College of Engineering and Information Technology.
Will the faculty in chemistry please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Moses T. Ashkumtin. Elizabeth A. Campbell, magna cum laude. Eric A. Eller. Fawn T. Ha. Joy K. Ikawirsu. Tamara Mendez Romero. Inubi Park. Ji Hyung Park. Abdul Ali Wali, magna cum laude. James Andrew Witt. Nicole Patrice Witten, cum laude. Will the faculty in mathematics and statistics please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Monique S. Apollon. Mary Claire Brown Bark. Joshua M. Bogdanar. Clifford M. Bridges, magna cum laude. Zana A. Kobaya. Michelle R. Danaher, magna cum laude. Andrew Scott Dotson. Allison E. Ebau, cum laude. Jill N. L. Kounzarti. Matthew D. Henry. William Daniel Hurt. Samantha Estelle Kinsella. Andrew J. Madison. Erica Rose Nesvold, magna cum laude. Bethany R. Ryan. Kimberly Eileen Shuranopoff, cum laude. Michelle L. Stegman, magna cum laude. John Henry Swenson. Jack Colton Swift III. Julian S. Withers. Will the faculty in physics please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Jeffrey Allen Daly. Joseph Stephen Dolney III, magna cum laude. Stephanie Mann Ferroni. John J. Hare Jr. Ian L. Nolan. James Kemp Roche III. Ryan Matthew Stein. Walcott Wall, cum laude. Will the faculty in chemical engineering please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Nazit Aguilar. Felipe Fernandez Valero, cum laude. Eric Charles Borman. Timothy D. Courtney, magna cum laude. Jessica E. DeWitt. Mike German, magna cum laude. Joel Michael Gwynn. Lawrence Paul Hetzel, cum laude. Amanda K. Karp, cum laude. Daniel Ryan Kostick, cum laude. Rob C. Lowe. Robert Joseph Marino. Ashrith Matthias. Oluwasunu D. Olewule. Edabimi Oyidi. Robert P. Reeves, magna cum laude. Aline Patrick Richards, cum laude. Lauren Ifri Smalls Monte. Will the faculty in computer science and electrical engineering please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Joy O. Adiwumi. Baruch Tila Ademuchu. Sabrina Elaine Bates, magna cum laude. Daniel S. Bennett. Jordan Charles Bieski. Brian Paul Bruce, magna cum laude. John Philip Chi. Matthew Thomas Della, magna cum laude. Kadim Dia. Michael Jackson Earl Elliott. Patrick W. Osato O. Idu Osagi. Eugene Feldman. Aurelius Lewis Granger, cum laude. Chad Russell Griffith. Peter Allen Hamilton, summa cum laude. Daniel Robert Hoskins. Bruce Howell II. Michael L. Rechen, magna cum laude. Christopher L. Jackson. Jiang O. Jiang, summa cum laude. Segrin B. Jobe. Bernard Andrew Culp III. Christopher Charles Lacey, cum laude. Daniel E. Lawrence. Joe H. Lee. Samuel Lehman. Deborah Denise Sanford McKay. Sean C. McEwen. Solomon Tadisi Michael. Timothy Sean Milligan. Stephen Jereb Mobley, cum laude. Brandon Gregory Morton. Stephen Christopher Murray. Michael Louis Patoka, summa cum laude. Brent Randall Powell. G. Michael Krush Pham, cum laude. Carrie Ann Ravoda. Michael Anthony Brushanen. Lawrence John Sebald, summa cum laude. Adam Jonathan Shook. William J. Slocum, cum laude. Gregory Travis Smith. Robert Sontag. Peter James Sturba. Daniel Ross Westling. Ikiewe Saife Wheatland. Brian J. Wilkinson, magna cum laude. Colin 1. Gregory M. Zapisik. Our next reader will be Dr. Kevin Eckert, Dean of the Erickson School of Aging Studies.
Okay. Will the faculty in information systems please stand while I read the names of your graduates? Ali M. Abidi. Lauren Lee Anthony, cum laude. Adam Robert Barr. Alanya Monique Bradley. Joseph Edward Birch, cum laude. Megan C. Butler, cum laude. Cornelia Kerpicia, summa cum laude. Alice Marian Carback. Allison Nicole Carter. Samir Kahid. Wayne Kenneth Chan. Kevin M. Chung, cum laude. Andrew Ross Cleveland. Laverne C. Cooper. Andrew W. DeJohn. Brian Christopher Dyer. Odessa S. Etienne. Shane Logan Ehler. Ashley D. Fauntleroy. Stephen K. Federley. Daniel James Florizu. Amy Frances Frozel, cum laude. Paul Ryan Garvey. Robo Guttahun. Charles Travis Gregory. Charles Edward Heber III. Michael Ryan Hess. Catherine A. Hobbins. Alex Christopher Hopman. Timothy G. Hutchins. Linhart Daniel J. Ingram, cum laude. Lieutenant, excuse me. David L. Jackson. Jessica L. Johnson. Christopher William Jungnitz. Stephen Paul Kawada. Christopher J. Krajewski. Justin D. Lee, summa cum laude. Brian T. Lewis, cum laude. David M. Lewis, cum laude. Samir K. Mahotra. Samir M. Mansour. Marvin B. Martinez. Carlos Edward McKinney. Michael Lee Merchant. Kalpesh P. Mistry. Brian Joseph Molchik. Kanjima Nawizi. Richard A. Nielsen. Nicholas Paul Oktrogen. Jason Ross Osborne. Sierra Marie Owens, cum laude. David Scott Padilla, magna cum laude. Matthew Owen Perry. Joy C. Pemberton. Justice Andrew Pickering, magna cum laude. Christopher David Putsch. Jason L. Reed. Brian Joseph Rocco. Colin Michael Roche Dutch. Edward Landon Rose. Melissa Ann Russell, cum laude. Ben M. Santora. Benjamin J. Schreiber. Amanda J. Schwenk. Robert Francisco Seeley, magna cum laude. Priyank K. Shah. Timothy Michael Shah. Igor Shkolnik. Bassett M. Siddiqui. Piper Lee Sines. Kirpal M. Sukunar, cum laude. Michael Lee Zeto, cum laude. Conraj Thomas Tangia. Denise Vaughn, magna cum laude. Second Lieutenant R. Stephen Vogel, U.S. Army. John Andrew Von Guten. Stephen Michael Whitbecker. Jane Wenjeng Zhao. Will the faculty in mechanical engineering please stand the names of your graduates? Andrew J. Akers. Mikhail H. Amin, magna cum laude. Joshua Webster Black. Christina Lynn Bowen. Gregory M. Breeds. Lee Michael Brendel, cum laude. Caleb Michael Burry. Alexi G. Haralamlides. Patrick W. Kahane. James Patrick Klernick. Kristen Stephen Kreiser, magna cum laude. Daniel Paul DeSoulas. Christopher M. Davis. Carla Marie DeCastro, cum laude. Joshua M. Deskins. Dominic Lodo. Mark Allen Eisenberry. Colin Presley Fleck. Richard Michael Foray. Mark Hollister. David Conrad Gellner, cum laude. Peter K. Georgiev. Azita Gobrati. Jason S. Harlow. Alan Barkley Harris, summa cum laude. Joshua D. Hogue. Adam H. Howe. Sarah May Hurley. Andrew Clint Wong. Scott Zachary Jones, cum laude. Nicholas D. Karageorgis. Joseph H. King. Adam Reynolds Cosmer. Yi Lor. Stephen Randall Lott, magna cum laude. Radek M. Matwicha. Brandon Matthew McDaniel, cum laude. Sayed B. Mahmood. Michael C. Morris. Emmanuel Ikini Olumba. Amish S. Patel. Davi Fewa Patikwi. Daniel Akoni Real. Andrew Michael Roach. Ozell Philip Sanders. Mallory Helen Savage. Nicholas James Savage Pollock. Robert C. Sumar. Jason Daniel Smith, summa cum laude. Ian Philip Sylvester, magna cum laude. Timothy A. Tennyson. Joshua David Tunzi. Abasanio Anemia Udofa. John Peter Vibra. John J. Warner. Michael Carver, magna cum laude. Diane L. Weeks, cum laude. Timothy A. Wheeler. Stephen D. Whitty. Oleg B. Yurchek, magna cum laude. Will the faculty and the management of aging services please stand while I read the names of our graduates? Alicia Nicole Bowen, cum laude. Ari Joy Kraft. Johanna E. Hancock. Neil C. Karkakis. Michael R. Novotny, magna cum laude. Stacy Nicole Page, cum laude. Our next reader will be Dr. Carolyn Tice, Associate Dean of the School of Social Work.
Will the outstanding faculty from the School of Social Work please stand to greet our graduates? Hi. Miriam Alawa. Sorry. Alicia Gloria Aponte Brockney. Cynthia Paula Aranda Martinez. Makia Ama Bologan. Randa A. Bavis, summa cum laude. Brittany Michelle Carey. Elizabeth Thayer Chamanor. Holly E. Cushion. Maria Alexa Dozdovith. LaKenya S. Crockett, just a little slower. Ruby Isono. Iona Teresha Farquansela. Savannah Filmano. Nathan Carlton Fortier. T.S. Gregory. Peter Gregory Griffith. Paulina Gunares. Rachel Lynn Hollett. Heja Hejaja. Monica May Kiefer. Ian L. Marshall. Jamie Lynn Martin. Valerie Marshall McQueen Bay. April Marie Melton. Faith Michelle Moyer. Mary Patricia Mule. Jamina L. Mertensen. Paul Roy Murph. Angela M. Palm. Brad Stephen Poiger. Ashley Monique Roberts. Johanna L. Congalilioya. Albert R. Rose. Boyan Ross, magna cum laude. Adriana L. Saba. Nicole R. Schwartz, cum laude. Melissa Dawn Shanti, cum laude. Rena Murrell Smith, cum laude. Tiffany Kim Spalding. Monica C. Talcott, summa cum laude. Camilla Avis Thomas.
What do I do now? Just leave the stage?
I need this back. I have my notes.
We are almost there. Give us your attention. Very briefly, we are almost there. I want the graduating seniors who are members of the Camerata to please proceed to the risers located on your left. All of the graduating seniors who are members of the Camerata. I also want to recognize Juan Holcomb. Juan, would you stand? Juan is one of our alumni and is vice president of the Alumni Association and has made a major financial contribution to the university. Please give him a hand. Thank you. This has been a wonderful ceremony. Before I ask you to turn your tassels, I want you to take a moment and savor this experience. And think about what the speaker said today as he talked about imagination and the liberal arts. Let me share with you the message written by one of our faculty, a biologist, Brian McKay, that was originally appearing in the Baltimore Sun some years ago. Brian wrote these words: "The future stretches ahead endlessly, full of promise, rich with idealism. For some of you, plans for the next few years are clear: medical school, grad school, a job. For others, the future is less certain. It's as if a thick fog obscures the proper course. There are forks in the road aplenty and no clear guidance as to which will be best. Ambiguity abounds, paradox beckons. But from the lighthouse of these commencement exercises, the voyage can be undertaken with a stalwart heart and a positive attitude. The geography of hope does not require a roadmap." It has been my tradition to quote the words of our first UMBC president, Alvin Kuhn, who in 1970 said, "If you bring to the future the same personal qualities you've brought to this campus as students, good and important things will happen to each of you and all those around you, and the university will be proud to have played a part in your life." And now, finally, my thought to the graduating class of 2009. Be confident, knowing that the education you have received, the liberal education you have received, will provide a solid foundation for the rest of your life. Know that if you persevere, and we know you will reach your goals, though you're certain to be challenged along the way. Remember that your dreams, and most important, your character, will determine who you will become. Your character will be reflected most clearly in the courage you possess and in the compassion you show for others. Be true to yourselves and true in your relationships, always reaching out to elevate and inspire others. And most important, graduates, remember that this will always be your home. You will always be a part of UMBC. Class of 2009, you may now turn your tassels. We would ask everyone to please stand. I want you to remember this is a wonderful, dignified ceremony respecting our graduates with great dignity. This is what we do. This is the UMBC way. We are so proud of our graduates. And what we will do now is sing along with the camerata the alma mater. You will find it on the back, inside back cover of the program. Please remain standing during the singing of the alma mater, after which Dr. Warcheski will lead the recessional out. We would ask that as we recess, that you remain in your seats out of respect for the graduates. The camerata. Alma mater, UMBC, boldly bear
to sing, striving together in true unity. Black gold forever we're reminded of thee. Proudly we hail to thee, our UMBC. Son of the ages, our UMBC. Songs and memories still echo with true clarity. Knowledge and wisdom, truth we found here. Friendships we treasure that will last through the years. Proudly we hail to thee, our UMBC.
Ladies and gentlemen, kindly remain standing until the platform party, the faculty and staff, and the new graduates have recessed. Family and friends are invited to meet your graduates outside the arena. Graduates, enjoy this your day of recognition.